Why don't we start off talking about Tesla, because there have been a lot of changes at the company just in terms of what they're doing with Bitcoin and other things, and we've seen that stock really skyrocket before coming back just a little bit. What do you think? What do you see as somebody who's been in this for a very long time?
So we've been in Tesla since 2014. We started working on it in 2012, 14 to 16. We bought stock, invested $387 million. And that was 1.6% of our assets. It became worth $5.5 billion over about a month ago. Now it's worth $4.5 billion. In the past 6 months, we've sold about 1.7 million out of our 8 million shares that we held. And we sold them between $450 and $900 a share, average $660, $670. And so we still own 75% of our stock. I'm hopeful we hold that for a very long, actually more than 75%. I'm hopeful that we can hold that for a number of years. I think that in 10 years, our target is $2,000 a share. And I think that could be light by maybe $500 or $1,000 a share. So we're looking for a lot more. When we started talking with you about this in 2014, when we were buying the stock, I told you that I thought that we would make at least 20 times our money. We have made 20 times. We've now made 15 or 16 times our money. I think there's another triple to go. When we were doing that, you were telling me you were skeptical. Most of my friends were skeptical. Most of my investors were skeptical. Everyone was skeptical. But we persisted. And at the time we invested, it was unlikely, in most people's opinion, that electric cars were going to dominate. Now, of course, even General Motors says that by 2035, they're going to have an all-electric fleet. So it's going in this direction, and Tesla is the leader. What's interesting about this company?
Real quickly.
Why is it interesting now?
Can I just ask? Well, I definitely want to hear that, but I think the headline here is that you sold some of the stock. That probably comes as a surprise to many people, especially if you think the stock is still going to continue to rise from here. Why'd you sell it?
Because it was up 20 times, and it became a very large percentage of some accounts. So I happen to own 1,115,000 shares personally. I haven't sold a single share, and I don't expect to for another 10 years. But for clients, I sold 27% of their stock, 25% of their stock. And I said that, and I told Elon that I was the last in. I bought it for all my clients first. And I said I was in 2016 when I was totally filled on the accounts that I could buy for at our firm, and I couldn't convince other people to buy more. Then I invested for my firm in this company. And I think I'm going to hold it another 10 years at least. And I told Elon that I would be the last out. And the reason we sold was a risk management idea where it became a very large percentage of two funds that I manage, two focused funds that I manage, became over 50% of those funds' assets. And I thought that risk mitigation was appropriate. And at the same time, one of those funds, Barron Partners Fund, it was $2.8 billion 3 years ago in assets. And it has a $1 billion line of credit. And we had employed $750 million. And when it went up sharply, I thought that it was appropriate to reduce the risk of this portfolio, to bring down that as a percentage of the fund, and at the same time to pay off all the debt. So we went from $750 million of borrowings to less than $100 million, and reduced the position in the account from over 5 million shares to 4,000,001. It was painful selling every single share, since I think we're going to make, my hurdle is to buy a stock. We're trying to invest and make 50% over 3 or 4 years, and double in 5 or 6 years. And I think we're going to make a triple in this company over the next 10 years. And so it meets the hurdle rate, and you pay taxes when you sell. So it was, and the prospects are brighter than they've ever been. I think it's much more likely they'll be able to go from 500,000 cars a year to 20 million. It's much easier to do that than to go from 0 to 500,000 cars. So I don't want to spend all the time in Tesla, but let me just give a couple things. That, number one, I think that, so Elon has said that the autonomous driving, which he believes is going to be effective by the end of the year, he thinks that alone is going to be worth $500 billion to $1 trillion in 10 years, just the autonomous driving feature. And that's going to be a subscription business. My guess is, right now you buy a car, it costs you $10,000 to have autonomous driving. And at some point, I think that you'll probably pay $100 a month. And there'll be 20 million cars a year sold, I hope. And all the cars that have been sold before. It could be in 10 years, it could be a $40 billion a year revenue business, growing very rapidly because you're going to be adding more cars. There's a billion cars that you have to replace ultimately with electric cars. So he's got a really big runway in front of him, and this is going to be a highly valued business. That's one. So that alone is worth the present price of the stock in 10 years. In addition to that, you're going to get a business in Tesla that I think could be doing $600 billion a year of revenues and making $200 billion a year of gross profit. You get that for free. A battery business that can be doing just about as much in revenues and a little bit less in profits. You get that for free. An insurance business, you get that for free. You get a ride share business, you get that for free. You get the solar roof business, you get that for free. So the opportunity here, when I'm describing $2,000 as a target price in 10 years, I think it could actually be more than that.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.